ลุยชิบหายเฮียพี่แล้วคนโคตรเยอะเลยคนอยู่ในปานนี่น่ะหน้างานในปัจจุบันครับลมนี่คือภาพนะครับที่เราได้ยินเสียงเพราะว่าปลายกล้องเราจะมีไมค์มันจะมีไมค์ลำโพงอยู่พี่ตะโกนเสียงหน่อยโอเคอยู่กี่คนมีอะไรครับอยู่ไหม
Bangkok may be 800 miles from the earthquake's epicenter, yet the tremors were still devastating. This building was under construction.
The whole building collapsed.
The crane atop the structure coming down along with 30 stories, sending clouds of dust through the streets and people running. 8 people are dead, with more than 100 missing. If this was the scene in Bangkok, what of the scale of destruction in Myanmar, where the earthquake originated? It was here in Mandalay, the city closest to the epicenter, that the quake was first felt after midday. At the city's airport, the sirens ringing, the people crouching, before being ushered away from the main building. News only slowly emerged through the day in a nation ruled by a military junta amid a civil war, and where the media is tightly controlled. As state-run TV announced a state of emergency in multiple regions, they initially offered only images of broken glass and smashed pots. Yet this was an earthquake similar in strength to the Turkish one in 2023 that killed tens of thousands. And so these are the scenes that tell a clearer story. In Naypyidaw, a woman and child lay trapped, their cries broken by the slow work of a chisel. In Mandalay, the bridge that once spanned the Irrawaddy River now runs into the water below. Elsewhere in the city, Buddhist monks looked on in shock. As a multi-story building shrunk from view. With military TV now showing the scenes in the junta's capital, Naypyidaw, authorities made the rare request for international help. Previously, such as during a cyclone 2 years ago, they were criticized for restricting aid to regions affected. But with more than 100 reported dead and over 700 injured, the junta's call for assistance perhaps points to a realization about just how high the death toll could climb. The US Geological Survey said there could be thousands of fatalities, as this was a shallow quake along a vast rupture line. Its force felt far and wide, not least in Bangkok, where it caused chaos. People ran from high-rise apartments and offices, the quake and its aftershocks causing a skyscraper waterfall as a rooftop pool was emptied onto the street far below.
I didn't realise it was an earthquake at first, but then I saw the table shaking, and the chair and computer swaying too. I knew for sure when I heard the noise of the cracking walls and glass. Part of the ceiling even collapsed. That's when I had to run.
The search for survivors at the construction site continues. The Thai Prime Minister visited the area this evening, as she emphasised that the only structures destroyed were those being built not those completed. Not so in Myanmar, where the buildings are of far poorer quality, and where the full scale of this tragedy is still not yet known. A natural disaster that could not have come at a worse time for this war-torn nation.
A violent 7.7 magnitude earthquake hit Myanmar and surrounding areas of Thailand and China on Friday, leaving a trail of destruction. The U.S. Geological Survey said the quake struck at a shallow 6.2 miles below the surface before a second quake, with a magnitude of 6.4, shook the area 12 minutes later. Tremors shook high-rise buildings and destroyed apartment blocks, causing the city to declare a state of emergency as fears of mass casualties rise. Officials at a major hospital in Myanmar's capital, Naypyidaw, have declared it a mass casualty area, as the death toll in the country is sadly expected to rise after buildings were toppled and debris was sent flying. Multiple terrifying videos have circulated showing swimming pools atop high-rise buildings being emptied, millions of people rushing to get out of buildings, and construction workers running for their lives. The aftermath of the quake leaves miles of destruction, hundreds of people missing or trapped under the rubble, and mass casualties. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone affected by the tragedy. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake has struck Myanmar and its surrounding regions, leaving devastation in its wake. The powerful quake has left at least 144 dead and 732 injured in Myanmar, with the military government warning that the death toll is expected to rise. Buildings, bridges, and roads have collapsed, adding to the widespread destruction. Already weakened by a civil war following the 2021 military coup, Myanmar's fragile infrastructure has made disaster response even more challenging. Aftershocks continue to rattle the region, worsening the damage and delaying relief efforts. In response, Myanmar's ruling junta has declared a state of emergency and is appealing for international aid. With communication and transportation networks severely impacted, the full scope of the disaster is still unfolding.